This is the Conservative Czar, August 4th, 2024. I'm going to start a short series about what's the difference between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in the president. What's the difference in terms of when they become president? How are they going to react? And so I want to start with the number one issue for Donald Trump, and that is immigration. And what we know about Donald Trump and immigration is he's going to close the borders. Kamala Harris is not going to close the borders. She'll talk a little bit about it during the campaign, but she wants open borders. 4 more years of open borders is what we're going to get from Kamala Harris. And the distinction between them is stark, absolutely stark. And so this is I think the biggest difference. And Donald Trump prides himself in following up on his campaign promises. So this is going to be a promise. I want to talk a little bit about a subset under this, which is deportation. I think Donald Trump will strengthen ICE. We will get some deportation. And he talks about mass deportation. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think the justice system that we have is going to prevent all of that. Some of it he'll get away with, but most he won't. Of course, it's not relative to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is going to open the border. The second issue, a big issue for Trump, is energy independence. On day one, I agree he is going to loosen the valve on oil in the United States so that we're going to get more oil production, natural gas production. He's going to lower regulations and free up the energy sector. And it's going to be a boost to the economy. I don't know if it's going to be quite the boost that Donald Trump's talking about, ending inflation with energy independence. I don't think that's going to happen. And we'll get into that in more detail later. Kamala Harris is a committed climate activist. She is going to continue on a war on oil and coal and even natural gas. And it's a stark difference. Donald Trump is going to have a freer economy, getting more energy independent, and Kamala Harris is going to go back to the old ways. You know, EV and gas-powered autos, the whole 9 yards. Kamala Harris is going to be an extremist. The difference is stark between oil independence and her war on oil. I will say one thing. I want to give a sidelight here. Talk about the Biden administration. When the Biden administration came in, they just destroyed all the Trump pro-energy policies. They destroyed it. And for a year or two, they continued this policy. They did change it a little bit in the last 2 years, where they started to embrace some of the saving energy, a little bit opening up on fracking, opening up on drilling. The last 2 years wasn't as bad as the first 2 years under Biden. But Kamala Harris is a different animal. Kamala Harris is going to be an activist climate challenger, and she is going to impose more regulations on oil, continue the war on oil. Stark difference between the two of these in the campaign. Donald Trump is going to end the border migration effectively, and he is going to free up energy. These are things that are going to happen and have a dramatic impact on the United States. These two issues are major issues why Donald Trump is a much better candidate and potential president than Kamala Harris. This is the Conservative Czar. See you next.